Hello again, this is J.R. Chadwick. This video is inspired by a comment from user Ghostgate82 on my video entitled Dear Thunderfoot and Company. His comment reads as follows. Look, I'm not going to throw insults, but you people have to understand that majority is mostly wrong historically. So enough with the science journal garbage. I'm not against testing and demonstrating things, but guesswork isn't science. Nobody can demonstrate physically that the Big Bang ever happened the way the 2008 textbooks say it did. By the way, they say it's fact. There are facts, and people then apply their bias to those facts. This happens every day in science. I seriously doubt Ghostgate82 has ever read a cosmology textbook, let alone 2008 or otherwise. Anyway, the reason this one comment deserves a video response is because it illustrates part of the creationists' fundamental lack of understanding, as well as their logical impossibilities. First off, the majority is mostly wrong historically. Yeah, that's right, Ghostgate82. Nothing has changed in the last 1500 years. Nothing at all has changed in the ways evidence is observed or accepted, or how theories are tested. And obviously the scientific community is unchanged as well. Don't you see, Ghostgate82? The reason why we have so many examples from history of misperception of the universe is because of strict adherence to religious scriptures. The belief at the time was that the earth was the center of the universe. We live down here in an obviously flawed world full of sin and sinners. Above the earth, you had the perfect and orderly heavens, God's realm. Everything is made of perfect spheres and is untouched by all of our crappiness. Any suggestion of a so-called flawed universe, or a universe that did not fit the Church's definition of ordered, garnered instant detestation and odium for supposed attacks on the unquestionable authority of the Church and on God. Copernicus did not openly publish his theory of a heliocentric, or sun-centered universe until he was on his deathbed, and even then it took some convincing from his friends to do so. Galileo also had reason to fear the reaction to his work. He used primitive telescope to observe the solar system and noted several interesting things. Venus had phases in a similar manner as the moon. The Church decried this as heresy. Jupiter appeared to have 4 moons orbiting around it. Heresy. Again. The sun had dark spots that appeared seemingly at random. This was also heresy, of course. He also noticed odd forms by Saturn. We now know that those words rings. The Church declared this claim as, say it with me everybody, heresy. Fun, isn't it? Galileo was eventually forced to stand trial for heresy and refute his support of a heliocentric universe to avoid being burned at the stake. Yep, that's right. Galileo Galilei was nearly burned alive for daring to point a telescope up and sharing what he saw. He still ended up being condemned to live the rest of his life under house arrest. The intolerance of religious fanatics like you is what holds back the development of new ideas and the gaining of knowledge. Now, for your assertion that the Big Bang Theory is guesswork, you have once again proved your utter ignorance. The Big Bang is far from hypothetical guesswork. It is the only theory of the origin of the universe that has successfully held up to decades of scrutiny and doubt and tests. The Big Bang is supported by all scientific evidence. It did happen. It's a fact. Let me tell you a little bit about how the scientific community functions. Peer-reviewed journals are open publications for scientists to post their own tested hypotheses. When an experiment is submitted to a publisher to even be considered for print, it must contain the following: a well-documented step-by-step process which follows a scientific method, all mathematical calculations and other experimental data. The margin of error, i.e. the current estimated age of the universe, is 13.73 billion years old, plus or minus 120 million years. And finally, possible ways their hypotheses may be wrong and how to test it. Far from being a small crowd of fanatics desperately trying to cling to a massive conspiracy for the convoluted purpose of avoiding morality, the only way for a young, eager scientist to gain respect in their field is to submit their own test of a known hypothesis. If their test supports a hypothesis or theory and is successfully repeated by still more scientists, then their experiment is forever attached to the said theory, which grows in support. If their test finds an error, and that error is supported by subsequent tests, then the theory or hypothesis is either modified to fit the new evidence, unlike creationism, which modifies evidence to fit old belief, or the theory is cast off from the scientific world forever. Proving a hypothesis to be wrong is indeed the best way to become a respected name in scientific literature. The more well-supported the theory they defeat, the more prestige they gain. So you see, scientists have all the encouragement to challenge all theories as much as possible. Undoubtedly, there is no greater example of civilized discourse than what you call the scientific journal garbage. That is the scientific community of today, far from the religious dogma to which you are actually referring to. Finally, your claim that we cannot observe the Big Bang is also incorrect. You see, light has a finite speed, approximately 300,000 kilometers per second. The term light year refers to how far light can travel in a year. The more light years away an object is, the longer light takes to reach us. Due to this effect, the more distant an object is from us, the farther back into its past we are seeing. The light from the sun is an average of 8.5 minutes old. Also, if we were to observe the Earth from the galactic core, approximately 25,000 light years away, then we would see primitive hunter-gatherer tribes instead of large cities. Now, if we look at an area of space that is 13.7 billion light years away, then we can see that part of space how it appeared during the Big Bang. The truth of the matter is, we are currently unable to view past about 500,000 years after the Big Bang. This was before the universe was emitting light. All of the photons were still interacting with matter. However, a new observation technology is being developed to overcome this limitation. It is called the neutrino telescope. Neutrinos are one of the elementary particles. They are emitted during nuclear reactions such as what occurs in our sun. Neutrinos have a minuscule amount of mass, so little that 50 trillion of them pass through our bodies and go straight through the planet every second and almost never interact with a single atom. The early proto-universe emitted these particles, and this will allow us to peer past the 3 degree Kelvin microwave radiation fog. Truly an exciting prospect. Lastly, claiming that not being around for billions of years ago disproves the Big Bang Theory or the theory of evolution is a logical fallacy. It serves only to help keep you in your happy little bubble of ignorance. I hope I've taught you something to not form opinions based on ignorance and wishful thinking. One more note. I am working on a video about VenomFang X, one that will certainly test my ability to use Windows Movie Maker. One of the videos I need to make it is one of VenomFang X's challenging Thunderfoot to a debate. I already have one of them called Thunderfoot Debate, but there was another one and I cannot find it. I checked VenomFang X and VenomFang X Mirror, but I could not find it there either. If anyone could assist me, I would much appreciate it, and I will credit your name in my video. Thank you for watching. Once again, my name is J.R. Chadwick.